topic is business entrepreneurship, which I'm so curious to hear about your journey. What motivated you to pursue a career in business as an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome any initial challenges? Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was raised in a family of businessmen, and my father was a businessman. My brother also. My mom is an artist, like a painter. She's also a very famous lyricist for Persian singers. So there's a lot of art and business in my family. So just growing up, I feel like I had this hustler mentality in my blood. So even from a very young age, I was thinking, I'm like, man, I was like in high school selling like lollipops to kids, you know? I started from that, and it was fun for me. I didn't think of money, but I would, every morning my brother would drive me to Smart & Final, I'll get a box of lollipops, go to high school, and then I became the only person that sold lollipop in high school because they made everybody stop. Like, you can't sell candy. And I said, oh no, it's for yearbook. I'm collecting money for yearbook. And, they believed me, so I just kept selling. But for me, it was fun because I'm, going to school with, I bought a $5 box and I come back home with $12. I'm like, this is fun. I like this. So it just kind of became a thing. And then just growing up, I did so many different jobs. Babysitting and all that good stuff. So I feel like I just kind of fell into it naturally. And from there, I had different jobs and I just realized I couldn't. Every time I worked for somebody, I was miserable. I was unhappy. I was like, I don't like this. Like, I just wanted to but I did my job, but deep down, I was just not happy. So, I think what started me was I used to work at an insurance company. I was a receptionist. And from that point, I decided to study photography because I liked art. And so I went to school for that for part-time. And then I was like, still not where I want to be. And there was another receptionist in this is I think was my calling, I would say, is that while I was in that company, I got sick one week. I was gone for a week, and they brought a temp to fill in my space. So when I came back in, she, I was talking to her, we were catching up, and she said, she's a makeup artist. I said, oh, I've always been interested in that. I want to work for the movies. I want to do special effects. So she, told me where she went, and that's kind of where my makeup journey started. I quit my job, went to makeup school, fell in love. I said, okay, I want to do this. So I learned, beauty, character, and special effects makeup. But yeah, from there I just my goal was to work in the movie industry, and I wanted to be in movies and all that, but I didn't really find the right connection. So I just went whatever path was put in front of me. I said, maybe this is my path. So I went there, then I ended up here. So little by little, and then from there is when in 2017, I decided to get my esthetician license. Because I just felt like with the makeup industry, I feel like, even though I reached where I was at the top, I was doing makeup for all the bodybuilding shows. So I was, the head of the makeup department for all the events. For me, I was like, it's still not enough. Like, I want more. It's like, I always want more. It's just, So then at that point, I said, okay, I think this is time for me to get my esthetician license because I've always, wanted to get my license. And so put that aside, went to school, and then, put it on pause. I didn't necessarily stop. And then from there, opened up my salon, which wasn't a salon at first. I started from my guest house. I lived in a guest house. It was a really 400 square feet guest house, and I took the little tiny part of the kitchen and put a bed in there, and everybody thought they thought the main house was my house and this was my office. So I was like, yeah, that's your house. And they I was like, fake it till you make it. Yeah. And it's funny because, so prior to that, I was working in my friend's salon, this is where I met Jax. That was the beginning of my esthetician career. So I was in that salon for 6 months just to kind of get my feet on the door, and I was so miserable. I'm like, I'm just not, because I'm a hustler. I like to go out there. I'll get clients. I'll make everybody a client. So I was like, I don't want to be here. She's taking all my money. It's like, where is it going, So that's when I went to the guest house. And then from there, I started posting videos on Instagram. And then, boom, one video went viral. And then clients kept pouring in and pouring and pouring in. And so that's kind of where, things really shifted for me. And then COVID hit, and then
Another shift.
Yeah, that was another shift. Yeah, so I feel like I'm constantly having these pivot moments in my career. So one leads to another, and then COVID hit and everything shut down. And I actually also have a makeup line and a skincare facial masks. I don't know if you've ever seen those colorful jelly masks that peel off. So I have a brand of that, and luckily, thank God for that, because when COVID hit and I couldn't actually do skincare, my online business picked up. And I was just like, orders were coming in. I was like, yes, I got money.
Wow.
So it just kept coming in, So I was like, all right, okay, I can do this. So I was never ever like worried because there was something else. I never worry about money, even if I'm rock bottom. I don't stress about it. I'm like, okay, what can I do next how can I like hustle to bring a client in, or what do I need to do, So
That's amazing. Wow. You're like the queen of pivot.
I am the queen of pivot. I am. Like, I feel like right now in this very moment, I'm in that time where I need a pivot. So I'm definitely right now I'm there. So
Wow.
a new pivot coming.
That is amazing. Now, as a woman leader, as a woman entrepreneur, how do you foster inclusivity and like diversity and within like your business and your ventures, and a little bit like how Jax was sharing, like she like usually like looks for like the unlikely ones, and is that something that you try to do?
Yes and no. I mean, sometimes, there's so many times where obviously I see clients on the streets and they have really bad acne, and I so want to talk to them. Like, can I bring you in? Can I help you? But I try not to do that. Maybe sometimes I'll try to open a conversation, see if I can go there. But with the people that already come in, I try to basically give them so much of me. Like, I'm a natural nurturer by nature. So when someone comes in, I try to just, I tell them, I'm like, this isn't just skincare. I'm not just giving you a facial. You're going to get a full-on, like, spa treatment, So I try to, customer service, would be one that's very important to be different than others and keep my clients happy. Make sure they return.
That's really good. I'm like varying from my question. I'm like, I have rosacea. Help me. Pretend I'm walking down the street. Help me. What peel do I need? Okay, we'll talk later.
I was about to go into it.
I mean, if you want to, but okay. I know we only have 15 minutes. But can you share a pivot moment, which you just did share a lot of pivot moments, but what pivot moment in your entrepreneurship journey that taught you a valuable lesson? And I'm sure you have many. But maybe you can choose one.
Yeah, out of all the many that I've had, and we were kind of talking about this in the car, is that not everyone is your friend. And even my best friend of 20 years that I thought was my friend wasn't my friend, because our friendship actually ended because of her not wanting to pay for my services. Or disrespecting me in that sense. And for me, it's like, I'm such a giver and I love to give to my friends, and like, if I know they're respecting me and they're willing to pay, I'll give them a nice discount. But if they come and expect that from me, that's when I'm like, So after that friendship ended, it was like, okay, you know what? Now I know like how to pick my person, or how to pick the people that I'm gonna take care of, So
That's right. If you're a friend, they should want to give you more. And like, you ever been in that situation where someone's trying to like overpay? Like, no, you get out of the way, you pay.
That's my culture. Persians are like that. We fight over who pays,
That's awesome. Wow. How do you navigate the unique challenges that women often face in business world?
Personally, I just fight through it. I just go right through it. I think probably COVID was one of them for me, I don't give up, even though sometimes deep down I'm like, and at this point I want to say, like, I'm still not where I want to be. I'm still working towards my goals. There's always more. I always want more, but definitely not, like she said, don't give up and just keep going.
There's a theme here. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Hopefully that answered the question.
And what advice would you give to aspiring women entrepreneurs to empower them to establish and grow their ventures?
I would say definitely pick what you love. So don't focus so much on the money, like, oh, I gotta make money. And I understand we all need money, you know. For me, I always like to have multiple streams of income, whatever it could be. If it's like a little thing, if I sell something on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay, like it's something, like a little bit here, a little bit there, you know. But definitely, like as far as your career goes, if you're not sure what you want or you haven't figured it out, pick what you love and the money will come. The money always comes.
That's really great. Thank you so much, Safoura.